Hello, hello, what's up? How y'all doing? Thank you, thank you. This is my secret project. It doesn't do anything fancy, by the way. I saw some lefts and some rights and some exclamation points. It don't do that. Oh, I'm gonna explain everything. The intention is eventually to have interactivity, yeah. But my approach has been, and I think will continue to be, that I want to avoid chat commands. I don't want there to be a shitload of chat spam. Kellen Mellon. Thank you, my friend. Thank you for the biddies. And I'm glad you enjoyed Coast Quest. I do get that a lot, but it's a nice thing to have a lot of. It's always nice when an old Coast Quest viewer drops in. So the overview here is that this is a pseudo 3D racer. And I relied on some tutorials that I found. You guys listened to me rant for a while about basically how I torture myself with like impossible projects, or really not impossible, but just like the way they used to make games back in the day outstrips a lot of my math abilities. It's mainly what I find. I understand the programming side more, but the math stuff that's happening is a little bit. I need work on that. But yeah, this is a 3D projection, so it's not true 3D. And in fact, the projection only really applies to the like ground, the road, the grass, and the sprites along the side of the road, which, to be honest, is fully the impressive part of what you're seeing. Manry, thank you for 56 months. Appreciate it, my dude. Wamasi, thank you for those biddies as well. And Digikimon, thank you for 50 months. True, yeah. All 3D is projection, but what makes this pseudo 3D is that there's no rotation. So none of the calculations necessary for actual like 3D rendering are here. It is just drawing a lot of lines very fast that are sized a certain way because of a pretend camera, which it was pointed out to me before that all cameras are also pretend in video games. This is true. The car is just good old fashioned Sprite or a bunch of Sprites, and I did that the hard way, the very hard way, the hardest way, honestly. Um, you're not gonna like it when I tell you about it. In fact, I should just show you what I did there. Give me a moment. Getting my shit together here. It is indeed a Sprite. Haha, boy. I don't have anything like that to show you, Sito. You're you're gonna be just mad at me because my approach to it was essentially to it was the equivalent of like throwing a rock across a basketball court and getting nothing but net. um just just the worst way. You'll understand in a second here. All right. Let's switch you on over. All right. I don't even want to tell you how I did this. It made me mad, and it was the choice I made of how to do this. It's not the choice I'm going to make going forward. But a lot of these little like tech demo-y things that I've been doing have been like extreme throw myself down the well and learn shit experiences. So here's how I made the car. I went and Google searched for 3D models. Now that sounds smart at first, but you know how 3D model sites have a previewer? I manually rotated the car in the previewer and took screenshots, and then I painted over it. So there's the screenshot, and there's my painting. Yeah, but if you think about it, it's so stupid. It's insane because with a preview, you have almost no controls except for rotating the model around with your mouse. So I just moved it a couple times and took screenshots each time, just thinking like, that looks okay. That looks okay. And it came out okay. It should not have come out okay, is what I'm trying to tell you. It shouldn't. You should be mad. No, you should be mad. I didn't even measure. I didn't check. It was my first attempt at it for all positions. Well, the sides are mirrored. So like both of the right sides are not. But like all of these were just like guesses. And I didn't do a second pass. All right, I guess how bad it felt to me while I was doing it isn't really coming across as much as I thought it would. Particularly because like doing that while I was doing it, I knew it was wrong. All right, I don't know. Anyway, that's how I did it. I'm sorry that that story didn't pay off the way that I sold it. Drew, yeah. I mean, this is absolutely a prototype, and I that's what I told myself was like, I don't care that much. And then like hours and hours and hours of redrawing this car later, I was like, oh man, I care a whole lot. Why did I do this? Why did I do this to myself? there's no way to save site settings on what is just like a really basic previewer on a site that sells 3D models. Also, technically, I stole a not a NFT. I'm a thief here, but also this is just a prototype, and I'm planning to replace this. What I would like to do going forward, because there's a lot of problems. What happened today was I made a to-do list of like, okay, I have a lot of stuff bouncing around in my head of what I want to do with this thing. I need to write it down. And then once I wrote it down, I realized, oh my God, this is not going to be done for 1 million years. So if I don't just like share it and work on it on stream, no one will ever see this. So what I would like to replace this with, also making any other cars with this approach that I went with, it's just off the table. I mean, this only took me a few days, but I don't want to do it again. So what I want to do going forward is actually 3D modeling, but I don't want to use a 3D model for the car. What I want to do is make deluxe sprites. And I've been investigating, like, I want to make, the plan is I'm going to make a low poly or low poly vehicles in Blender and, you know, do materials and whatever and all that shit. And then there are some techniques for rendering things out in a pixel art style. And that'll give me a much more controllable, reproducible method that won't make me feel like I'm dying. Because this was a nightmare. I basically had to trace or paint over like every little piece to achieve like this look. It gets worse too. I have no consistency in my approach to like the resolution in the game of assets. So you may notice that like the car doesn't appear to be the right resolution compared to the sprites. The sprites, by the way, are from Outrun. The trees, those are Outrun trees. So I need to approach all of that differently, and I've never made a game that has, you know, pixel art graphics. So I don't really know all the ropes there. I don't know if I should make everything like full res and then do like a resolution independent, like scale down and then something or other. Yeah, this is Phaser still, Phaser 3. I couldn't find, well, actually, I did find 2 or 3 projects similar to this. One was that were on Phaser. One was really good, and the others were really bad. um, I didn't really glean a lot from them, to be honest. The good one gave me some inspiration. Oh God! So the triangle clouds are not a stylistic choice. That is literally I made the quickest thing possible to represent clouds. Because I wanted to get a parallax test going, and I also wanted to have something that logically would make sense to also independently move and parallax as well. So you'll notice the clouds are slowly gliding over, and then they still respond to parallax as well when you turn. This is playable, by the way. It's disabled right now because it's just in self-driving mode, but as long as no children run across the road, we should be fine. There goes the parallax. It's very gentle on that particular curve. The camera tilt in the turns is a cheat, a cheaty approach. It works, but I don't think I like it. The problem with that is, thank you. So the other day, I was talking about how I have no idea how to rotate an imaginary camera, and I never did figure out how. Instead, what I did was I took Phaser's camera, zoomed it in enough so that you wouldn't see. But those are math things, Sito. And the tutorial I was using didn't include that. So it's basically impossible for me. But I would like it to be that in the future. I would like it to be drawing based and not a cheat, because basically I'm zooming in Phaser's main camera enough so that you won't see the edges of things when I rotate Phaser's camera. Which means that's gotta fuck with like the quality of the rendering in terms of, you know, all of these things are rendered based off of the resolution, not, and it doesn't account for the fact that the camera's zoomed in. So there's a little hit to the quality of what's drawn because the camera is slightly zoomed in. It sucks. So, yeah. There's some other weirdness too. I have actually have right now some settings that are like tied to controls. They do weird things. Like I can change the height of the camera, but it doesn't stay focused on the car. It's kind of neat though. It's like a drone cam now. But you know, I don't know what use that is. Also, I can just go down and bad things happen. Goodbye, car. I also have FOV, which also makes bad things happen. Oh no. Uh-oh. It's a hover car now. Ruh-roh. That doesn't look right. But yeah, this FOV does work for the drawing of the world. It's actually, I think, elongating it right now. This is kind of a cool effect all by itself, really. Yeah, I've thought about, like, I would like to integrate some some camera control, some camera stuff into the just into it, that just automatic camera stuff. But like I got to fix a lot of things before I can do that, obviously, because it's breaks so much shit. There, we're now safely back on the ground. That probably didn't put the settings back where they belong, so I'm just gonna refresh that again. So basically just a really, really, really long list of stuff that I want to do. And it's going to take a long time because I have a lot of stuff I need to figure out to make those things happen. Yeah. Get my list and I'll give you sort of an idea of where things are at and where things are going. But what I decided was like in the meantime, I could still use this because I need to get off of the Scream a Day theme, but I really wanted to have a new theme. And this was my idea for the next one. Not just a car driving with some trees. Obviously, I have much bigger plans. But it might be cool to see it develop over time, you know? And I was thinking about making my code open so we could sort of work on it together. People could contribute stuff or just help me figure shit out if you want to. Let's see. So here's the, oh my God, it's such a huge list. All right. Now, don't talk to me about daddy's tabs, all right? Um, let's see here. So, I just haven't cleaned them up in a bit. I'm going to clean them up. So there's an issue with what's supposed to be the FPS lock. My on this machine, my gaming machine, it runs very fast. But on like any other machine that's 60 hertz, it runs the way it's supposed to. So something's wrong with that. I need to figure it out. I'm still working on cleaning up the code and organizing it and da da da. I need to figure out resolution pixel size handling, make the draw resolution independent from display resolution, get away from mixed pixel sizes, looks bad. Sprite drawing overhaul, store references instead of draw, delete, draw. So all of those trees are redrawn entirely every frame. Every single frame. That might sound normal, except for the way Phaser works, it handles that. You can load an image in, which is what I'm doing, and then it redraws it as long as it's on the screen. If it's within the screen space inside the canvas. So what I'm doing is additional. Because I wanted to get it up and running. So what's happening is I will load an image, show it for one frame, destroy it. The coordinates, the projection gets recalculated for the next frame. I will load the image, show it, and destroy it again. And that happens every single frame. So that's obviously not good. Really, there should be a reference stored, and then I just change the screen coordinate position and scaling of the image. And that should still work just fine. And that will get rid of a whole lot of unnecessary churn. What happens with me and my tabs is that I'll look something up and then I leave it up because I'm still referencing it, and then I'll need to look something else up, but I don't want to get rid of the other things, so I'll open another tab, and it just builds and builds and builds, and at some point I have to do like, what things do I want to keep here, and I just haven't done that. I've been trying to organize or stay on top of my tabs a bit better. I actually like Firefox. I've been migrating to Firefox. I'm going to abandon Chrome because of they're killing ad blockers. And Firefox doesn't have a tab grouping implementation, which I really liked from Chrome. That helped me out a lot. But I found something I think is better, which is like tab grouping. It's tab containers or something. You have a little menu, and you open it up, and you just have all your tab groups, and you can switch between them on the fly, and it's nicer than Chrome's, because Chrome's does eventually lead to a pileup. And the only way to take care of that is to have a whole other profile, and it's just ugh. So yeah, I'm happy to be back on Firefox. It's been many years. Sorry, just checking some work messages. I am aware of tree style tab implementations, and I personally hate them. But thank you for the suggestion. I don't like them. That makes sense, Nee. So you were in like power saving mode probably. So anyway, I need to draw sprites better. That's not really a hard one. It's just have to put in the effort. Fade in sprites to reduce pop in. That will be doable after I switch to references implementation, because right now it's kind of hard to do gradual alpha changes on things that are being destroyed every single frame. I'd have to like remember, and now there's just like that's an impossible implementation. So that'll be easy as well once I switch to references. Support animated sprites again. Once I have references, that won't be a problem. Use sprite sheets and texture atlas. Determine which is better or mixed. Investigate sprite sheet atlas managers editors. So, oh yeah, see though, like one thing I should say is my philosophy for this is I am not opposed to using modern approaches to stuff, but where the rubber meets the road, I want to try to do retro style or at least retro looking implementations. So like I'm using phaser functions and things like that and shortcuts that phaser provides, but the road is entirely drawn and projected old school style. So it's a mix of both, if that makes sense. There's really no need for level of detail sprites, but I think it would be cool to have that anyway. Yeah, I haven't figured out. I want to do skid marks. I just don't know how yet. I'm thinking if I want to be really fancy, I could add them to the segments, to the road segments, so they're like permanent. Good God. So yeah, in Phaser, there's sprite sheets and there's texture atlases. Sprite sheets are literally just pictures that have frames in them. So it would be it's not sprite packing. I'll show you what I did. So in Phaser, this is a sheet, and all of the spaces here are exactly the same size. So it turns this into an array, and then it cuts it essentially, not really, but it divides it by the frame width and height. A texture atlas is still a bunch of sprites, but that's packed sprites, and then it has a companion like JSON file that it says like where each of the sprites are. So that's when you want to cram a whole shitload of stuff together. The reason I went with just a regular sheet is just that it was convenient and easily compatible with being able to know when to like which angle of the car to switch to. You can't get methods inside of classes working. When you say that you can't get them working, what's not working about it? Are you getting like function not defined, something like that? Are you trying to use your do you have like a module set up? Or is it all one big script? These are also super duper not pixel art. More cheating was involved here. The way that I achieved this look is I had a preset size, and I did this. Nearest neighbor, width 300, down from 900, and then 715. Ta-da! So again, very much cheating. Yeah, there's no driver at all. That's on my list. So I don't have a ghost car. Sorry, Zunum. Cobot slaps links. Let me give you a permit so you can send your paste bin. Just a second. You can share it now. One moment. Class reference error. Well, it looks like one thing right off the top is that your last console log there has a typo. It should be james.dump, right? So if I run this again, there you go. No error. And you're trying to do .dump. I see what you're trying to do. You have an extra brace in your dump method, I think. Oh, no, you don't. I see what's happening. You just don't have tabs. Or something weird's going on here. Oh, I see what's happening. Okay, never mind. So what's dump supposed to do? You just want to print out all that stuff, huh? But you're trying to do that from within a console log. You don't need to do that. Admiral, what are you trying to do here? So you're constructing, okay, John, right. So you should be able to do, right. So yeah, instead of doing the console log, you're printing out the function. So if you do james.dump, sorry, I'm not looking at chat, so you probably get it by now, and I'm just, there you go. Yeah, if you just do james.dump and then close parens, you will have what you want. Yeah, so when you see F, that means function. And it's basically, you're just literally printing out the function. You can just call the function. So just try calling james.dump or john.dump. And maybe don't call it dump. But I mean, you know, it would make me laugh every single time. I'm going to make james.dump. It's working for me, bud. Here. I will show you. Okay, so you got dump is not defined, and that's okay. So you made that change. You got to do this. You got to have closed parens, buddy. That's how you call a function. Haha, it didn't work. Oh, this is causing it to crash. Let's get rid of that. There you go. There's everything. That's all. An easy miss. Yep. You always have to have closed parens when you're calling a function in JavaScript. No problem. Good luck with your project, with your admirals. This is what I was talking about, by the way, with my with it running slower on my game machine. Because it's 144 hertz, I think, is the issue. I checked and it's like on my stream PC, the time delta is 16-ish milliseconds. But on this machine, it's 6 milliseconds or so. And I tried adjusting, like it should just be simple, right? Like you just tally up the delta and then you should be able to set it to like after 1 second. I only want to like divide the second by 60. That's how many times I want to draw a frame. And then I only let that happen when I hit the total delta amount. But I tried that and that didn't fix it. So there's something I'm missing there. I got to revisit it. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, that's what I figured. I was just making a joke about dump. I don't know. I got to look at it. That part of the code is still a kind of a weird mix of garbage. By the way, did you guys hate my pixel art cheating approach? Nicole Protocol, thank you for 72 months. Very much appreciated. And Foxborn, thank you for that gift sub. It is called Sad Racer, yeah. The Stream-a-day initialism lends itself to just unending fun names for things. Everything I make is sad. Oh god. Don't look at Daddy's code disaster. Still in the middle of trying to like clean it up and reorg. Don't look at this mess either. So it's a weird mix of stuff from like the guide that I was reading or guides. There was one, the OG is basically, God, what's his name? I think his name is Lou. I believe the website was extentofthejam.com, but it's gone now. I was actually visiting it via archive.org. This is how much trouble I had finding good explanations of how you build pseudo 3D racers authentically. And then there was another one that was by, I don't know their name either, but I think it's actually a somewhat notable programmer, internet person. But their website is called Code Incomplete. They have tons of projects on there. One of them was basically taking the Extend of the Jam guide and then building it without a game engine in JavaScript. Yeah, archive.org is great. I was so thankful that I was able to get that site. And so that's where I got a lot of this stuff from. There's a lot of shameless copy and paste, but I was using it to learn, and I just was curious if I could make it happen in Phaser at all, because I didn't really have any idea how to do that on my own. So there's a fuck ton of fuck ton of settings for this thing. And a lot of the magic is in... Well, so this is... All right. So add segment. Let me just... I haven't actually cleaned this up and separated out yet, but this is the data structure here of the segments. So basically a road in this is... It's a huge array. It's an array of objects. Each of those objects has an index and 2 points. So when we're drawing the road, there's basically an invisible center line. And you see the color banding? You can see it better in the grass. Although I don't know what encoding is doing to this. This probably causes an encoding nightmare. Which that did cross my mind, is like, I might be building something here that just destroys the stream, and then hilariously I'm going to make it my stream theme. But basically, the 2 points are that width apart. Okay, so that's how thick a segment is making up the road. And using those 2 points, when we initially build the road, before doing any projecting, we give it world coordinates, which is just the index and the length of the segment. And then a y, which is the height in this case. So the z is going out from the camera, and then the y is the vertical, and x is left and right. Okay. So we only start with world coordinates. We also have amount of curve, sprite array that's associated with that particular segment. And then colors, which is doing a ternary operation to draw the rumble. And actually, every other segment is either light or dark colors, as you can see, mainly in the grass, but you can see it in the rumble as well, along the edges of the road. You see the difference there? Now check this out. Let me go to my update. So update is actually provided by Phaser, which I think is maybe part of why all of this is not working correctly, because then I have an update loop inside of the update loop that is trying to do, and this is basically lifted straight from the guide. Like, we don't need a timestamp utility, for instance, because we have time and delta right here that Phaser provides. I've tried to convert over to it, and I screwed it up. I need to revisit it, like I said. And then this is all based off of the FPS up here, which is set to 60. But if I set it to 100, which is actually what was in the guide, then it looks good on my gaming PC. But look how fucking fast it's going on the stream PC. JavaScript just uses /n for new lines, just like everything. Depends on where you're trying to use it, though. Oh yeah, we can make it go insane if you want. I think it breaks at 200, though. It doesn't. But there you go. Honestly, I think it looks pretty sick. But in the end, I want people to be able to actually visually be able to understand things that are on the sides of the road, so I don't think I want it to go this fast. At least not all the time. Yeah, delta is supposed to be time since last frame. Oh, I see. You were talking to BFA, and you want to see how it's used in the code. Sure. So we have FPS and step. And step is 1 divided by this FPS. So the default, I think it was supposed to be 60, honestly. And in terms of the guide. So it's doing 1 divided by 60. Yeah, I would like it to be a stable, consistent rate across systems. Because I mainly do my development over here, but the target audience is over here. And the stream is 60 frames per second. So I'd like to be able to develop it, being able to see it the way you guys are going to see it, instead of having to constantly switch that setting all the time. It's a very minor thing, but I mean, why not fix it, right? So the way that it's set up here is we initialize. These aren't being used. That was me testing. We initialize last and GDT, which I think is graphics delta. The unfortunate thing with that guide that I used is that there's a lot of unnamed variables that aren't explained. So we create a variable of now, and we get a timestamp. And then dt is math min 1 or now minus this dot last, which starts off, that's actually supposed to be initialized to a timestamp. I forgot to set that back. I guess it doesn't matter now. So now minus this dot last divided by 1,000, or 1 second. Oh, I've broken it. What have I done? Unit? What did I type? I typed unit? That's not right. Oh my gosh. Util. There we go. There, now we're back. Now that wasn't the bug, as you can see. They're still not running the same. Anyway. So here we're doing our delta. We initialize GDT at 0, and then it becomes GDT plus DT. This could really be plus equals. I don't know what this one means. And then while GDT is greater than step, we subtract the step from GDT. So I suppose it's supposed to be counting up to 1. And then we go into draw loop stuff, or whatever, game loop stuff here. So we clear all graphics, which this is the road. We clear all sprites. This is that nasty thing I was talking about. and then we re-render everything, and then we update player stuff. And we send the delta time into that. That could be a factor here. Do you want to see my stupid debug? The debug's kind of funny because, well, you'll see why. Remember that camera cheat thing I told you about? It has other effects. You'll see in a second. Any second now. It's going to happen, I promise. Oh, I see. GDT isn't approaching 1. It's approaching step, which is 1 divided by FPS, which comes out on this machine. It comes out to 0.016 forever. And then over here, it's coming out to, well, it's coming out to the same. Yeah, so the text is drawn to the camera, and then the camera tilts. Yep. Right. I really have trouble with these like very simple math things. I need to like think about it and write it out properly. Because I know this is not a hard thing. Also, hold on. I want to pass these in here. And see what they say as well. Time is not defined. What did I do? Oh. Yeah, there's something about it that's still being affected by the difference in machine speed. Sorry, I have this on a tiny... I'm looking in the OBS preview. 1 second. Huh. Yeah, so the delta reported by Phaser on my stream PC is 16 milliseconds, 16.6. And the delta reported on my game machine is 6.9. This is what Phaser is saying from its own update loop. And that's basically saying Because I know 16.6 is a 60 frames per second locked step. So I'm guessing that 6.9, whatever, is a 144 hertz locked step. So phaser by default then runs its update loop at exactly your refresh rate. That's why those are different. And the GDT is based off of that same delta. Well, it's not based off of the one that I'm reporting out in the debug now, but I think the calculation is probably the same. The dot? The full stop? This is another one where I would need context. Zunum. Obviously, I don't think you're asking about like a decimal place. I'll be real with you. I don't really know. Oh, there you go. Sage is explaining it better than I would have. Yeah, I've never had to explain that or even really thought about it. It's just one of those things that I've sort of implicitly understood. And if you're trying to learn JavaScript, I would say it's probably not something you need to think too hard about. But yeah, it's basically how you access things. How do I even think about it? I guess I kind of think about it like like an array or a hierarchy is how I think about it. Essentially, you know, like this, right? This is the top of the hierarchy. It's my class. That refers to my class. GFX is my variable. And then clear is my method. And they're just sort of like, you're just going down the hierarchy, I guess. But I don't think you need to super think about it too hard. Yeah, another good analogy, like people are saying, is folders. Think about it like folders, kind of. But obviously, that's not going to be an analogy that doesn't break down. Because I went to talk about my variable and it immediately broke down. But yeah. Well, that's actually GFX is. Anyway, don't worry about it. Sorry, Bobby. Cobot slaps links if you're not subbed and you don't have a permit. Let me give you a permit here. Oh, you probably didn't even do a link. Oh no, this conversation is like, it's like fuel for Cobot because Cobot doesn't always really understand usage of dots. Yeah, you're just gonna get tons of false positives. But yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to discourage you from learning about it, but I just feel like it would be something that it would be getting into the weeds pretty hard. But if you want to, absolutely go for it. If you feel like, because everybody learns different, so don't let me tell you how to learn. End of the day, I think I was just the wrong person to ask about it. Okay, so back to me not understanding how math works. Okay, so time is consistent across both of them, so I should be able to figure this out. Cowbot. Yes, so this here, update, in any phaser.scene, update is automatically called by phaser. Okay? So those top two that I'm reporting out in the debug, time and delta, those are actually provided by Phaser. Additionally, I slapped the code from that that guide I was following inside of my update loop. Well, I figured so, and I mean, now that we've been talking it out, we've the rubber duck method here. I realized obviously it's redundant. I don't think it's actually hurting anything exactly because I'm not using the variables, but Phaser is calling update every frame by its determination. And when I look up, let's add another tab to the pile. Phaser time step. Huh. GitHub here. Oh. Use ticker, huh? Update functions past two values, current time in milliseconds and the delta time, which is derived from the elapsed time since the last frame, with some smoothing and range clamping applied. Uh-huh. And then you just use the delta for everything. They're not really, this doesn't show me how I can, unfortunately, I'm just real dumb. So, I mean, the bullets just have their different speed values, and it's just times delta, and that's the magic sauce. Yeah, got it. I get it. I mean, clamping, I think, is just basically min and max values for a value that you're passing in. So if you want something to be like between 0 and 10. Well, let's just, I mean, I can quickly fix that problem, right? I say that, but that's probably not going to end up being true. But let's just kill the unneeded game loop and see what happens. It's going to break, guaranteed. DT is not defined. That should just be the delta time. Oh, but I do need, I think other things rely on GDT. Start GDT. Nope, just my debug thing, so I'll just kill that. Haha. Haha, it broke. It broke badly. It's freaking out. Don't look directly at it. I still need GDT. Oh, I should have done I forgot that I like reorganized things. I mean, it looks like I was only using it in this while loop. Let me look at player update. Sorry, I promise we'll fix this very fast and this will all stop happening. So we're passing the delta. We're getting the segment. We're figuring out speed percent. We were passing in DT though, not GDT. So why? There's a bunch of garbage I wrote. All of this is based on the DT. So what was different about that DT, man? Man. Let's see what these values are and how they compare to the phaser ones. Without bringing back the while loop. Oh yeah, we don't need to pass that. Okay. Oh, but we need to reset GDT for it to make sense. I guess instantaneously. No. I'll just repurpose this. Hello? Oh, that's not what I wanted. Hee. Everything's fine. Okay. That sure is hard to see with it running at 1 million miles an hour, huh? Oh. Why is the calculated DT so low? Let's... Um... Okay. Well, it stopped freaking out. Oh, because I blew up the DT. Oh, I'm so stupid. I'm a dumb idiot. I didn't do the right one. My brain. There we go. Hey, all right. That's what you want to see. We did it. Go team. But you saw how like bumbling I am with this sort of thing. I just always feel defeated when I look at a math problem like this and I'm like, I don't understand. And it's super simple. Makes me feel like a moron. Okay. So this is the big improvement. Zick, thank you for 92 months. I don't know if you've been here for all of this. Actually, a lot of you probably haven't. But what I'm planning to do is basically the idea behind this project was this was my idea for the next stream theme. But I made a little bit of a to-do list. Don't look at Daddy's tabs. And I realized that it's going to be a while. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a repo, a public repo, and then I thought we could work on this together. You guys could examine my code, and it could kind of develop as it goes. We can, it'll just kind of steadily change and hopefully improve. Yeah, cool. Boop. That's nice to do, yeah. That feels good. Where did I leave off in here? Oh yeah. So then after sprite stuff, I've got player car. I need to finish the wheels. You may have noticed that there's no wheels. I want to animate the spin. Add driver. Other cars / AI based on the player car. Generalized car implementation. Need a better way of quickly creating car sprites. Low poly blender 3D model to sprite export? Question mark. I don't know what you're talking about with the stick, Divine. If you're talking about like stick shift, you wouldn't be able to see that. If you're talking about controls, there's not going to be any controls. Oh, I see what you're talking about. You're talking about Kurt's car on a stick. Thank you, Mal. I forgot about car on a stick. And then after that, we have defined biomes. So obviously, I don't want this to be like a neon green world only filled with outrun trees. So I need to paint some like prototypes of what those will be. And then when I have some good ones, then I'll build assets based off of those. Dynamic road / biome updating. So I need to figure out how to dynamically like stitch the next road onto the end of the current one. And then smooth transitions between. So I need to like tween the color sets. I'd like to like smoothly go from light to dark or, you know, whatever. I want it to be sort of a gradient. I need to figure out how to do the same sort of thing with the sprites and the backgrounds, which I don't have listed here. Transition via looping straight segment. So this is a common paradigm in old games as well as newer ones that mimic it. Like Slipstream is a great throwback racer, and it does that where when you get to the end of a stage, it doesn't like go to a loading screen. It goes to like a holding road, and then there's some sort of a transition. I really need to fire up that game and re-reference like how does it do it? How do they handle that transition between biomes? Update background approach. Allow open-ended layers. They're hard-coded right now. Sky, lowest layer should be a generated graphic with color gradient rather than image. So yeah, right now it's a big PNG. I want it to be a graphic that I can update the colors and stuff on the fly dynamically. I could just do a tunnel, yeah. Investigate and implement maximum Y movement for layers where this is a problem. So the backgrounds are a little weird. So backgrounds are where I'm using a more a more modern implementation. Oh, I've already got that figured out, Sito. I don't have it implemented, but I already know how that works. So the backgrounds are tile sprites for the most part. Tile sprites are cool. They're awesome for making parallax backgrounds in Phaser because you can scroll tile sprites and they automatically handle wrapping, which is how all the parallax is being handled here. However, one of the problems with that is we've got something that makes sense to scroll forever horizontally, but extremely limitedly vertically. I can show you the assets, and you should understand the problem. Basically, there is a limit to how far the hills and the tree can go before they will wrap down from the sky. And I have to leave a little buffer as well to avoid there being any kind of weirdness, like a line of pixels or something. This is just test stuff, of course. But essentially, if it scrolls, like if you go up too many hills and the hills and the tree scroll down in the background, they're going to start to come down from the top. So I need to clamp that or come up with something to do about it because like, well, you don't really want to go like too high in the Y direction anyway. So that could be another way of looking at it is just like always consistently make these you know, to a certain way, kind of like how I've done here, and then also don't have the Y value in the track go above a certain point. It's not one layer. These are saved out separately. So there's a cloud layer, there's a trees layer, there's a hills layer, and there's a sky layer. And then the cool effects section. Car lights for dark biomes. Headlights, taillights, possibly use particles to create trailing lights effect, like that outrun effect where the taillights look like lasers. I think you should look into spread, or yeah, you could do loops. You could do a loop. Spread is very powerful. I'm not sure you could do every other like that though, but you could certainly do right. So you could do an array for each. So like my array dot for each thing, and then you get your index for free. And then you would, I don't know, there's lots of ways you can do this, but you could do like if index parity, or not, well, not parity, but modulo 2 equals 0, do the thing. Do on even if index modulo 2 equals 1. How did I get on the outside here? What happened? What did I do? I'm just constantly in a state of fat fingering. Do on odd. Or Zik knows better. I'm like Mr. Brute Force approach to so many things. Oh, whoops. Left out my arrow. My way works, that way will work, and requires far fewer lines of code. And be much faster, yeah. I'm still pretty behind the times. Um, oh yeah, you have to be careful not to mutate your original array. That can screw you up. I think a map handles that for you. Map returns a cloned array, right? Yeah, map, filter, and reduce. I just don't use them often enough because, and also spread. But I don't use them often enough because I'm a idiot. I was gonna correct that, but I decided not to because I had also read that actually those functions are slower and it's faster to just do like a regular for each or whatever. I have buck up and drive. I'm familiar with it. I ended up actually not really enjoying the gameplay that much, sad to say. Yeah, for each. Wait, what do you mean, Hamill? Which iterator do you want? Um, you do have to declare. Oh, I see what you're saying. You should maybe have a look at TypeScript stuff. Have you looked at that at all? If you're interested in learning about type safety. Which I also need to I need to do that myself. Yeah. I think arrays are immutable, aren't they? Even if you in any JavaScript variable, is that not the case? Or is that a misunderstanding I have? No, no, no. I don't mean I'm inside the array, obviously, yeah, but I mean like the array, not its contents. Once you've assigned it to a variable. Right. Okay. Gotcha. The things I don't understand and yet am allowed to write code regularly, it's concerning and scary. More dynamic lighting. Could possibly add light level to segments for cave tunnel sections, lighten and darken cars. Could do tunnel on off lighting effect. Right. I think I was inverting. Yeah. I was inverting in my head the problem of like, because I think that's a regular gotcha is when you try to do, you think you're copying an array, but you're not. And then you find out that you've fucked up your array. You have to do specific stuff to actually clone an array to have a separate copy of it in JavaScript. Yeah, yeah, if you do like a method, yeah. Like it's common to try to do like let my sorted array equal and then your original array dot sort, but it ends up sorting. You get the sorted array, but it also sorts the original array. Yeah. And that's not really well conveyed in JavaScript that that's going to happen. So it's just a super easy to mistake to make. And what it ends up kind of looking like as well is it looks a lot like a race condition. So it can be very confusing. Like you can go a while without realizing what the hell you did. Weather. I want to do weather effects. I have to determine the whole approach to that. So probably sprites, but I could investigate involving physics and particles. It would be interesting to have the biome change based on the weather change. And I also, if I feel like really getting wild, I could find an open API that has actual weather in my area and then have the weather be dynamic based on that. And then obviously Twitch support, I want to do that stuff. So like dynamically inserting sprites into the biome based on events. So like you could imagine you sub and then there'll be like billboards on the side of the road that have like your name and like, thanks for subbing. Or like maybe a banner across the road. Could let you vote on the next track. So like with Outrun and similar games, you get to the end of a track and then it'll show like a choice of road signs, and then it'll split off, and you, whichever choice you make is where you go. And I was thinking you guys could vote at that point, and then it would use your input to choose. If other cars can be supported, maybe viewer/event cars. That's all the idea I had there. I don't know what that would do. Yeah, the track selection or biome selection would be pole base. Oh, a plane with a ribbon on it. That's a cute idea. I like that a lot. That feels so like old Sega. That's a perfect idea. I like that. I'm going to note that in here. That's what I was thinking, Zick. Is that it would be, I don't know if there's any open weather APIs anymore though. I feel like that used to be a thing, but then APIs started to get closed up from getting pummeled. That doesn't mean I couldn't get access though. I just have to set up. It would be a little bit more complicated setup. Right, it'll just be gray all the time. Well, I would probably do a mix of weather, but also stylized. Like, I don't think I would want to do like night and day based off of real time because it would always be night. So that feels a little boring to me. But yeah, so that's currently the game plan. There's quite a lot to do. I don't know if there's anything I haven't gone over at this point. It's kind of covered the whole gamut. Oh, I didn't note it on here. But I also had speed lines crossed my mind. I'm not sure that that would be bitrate friendly though. If this isn't already bad for bitrate, I'm surprised. Might get worse when I start adding a lot of different assets. Oh yeah, good point, BFA. I'm just gonna put incorporate countdown. What I thought about having for when it gets to hype is that it drives up like you know, an outrun when you get to the when you actually get to the end of all the tracks when you get done with a circuit, and then the car pulls away from the camera and spins out, and there's like a crowd of people standing around a finish line with a banner. I was thinking that would be a cool thing. Well, no, so I basically decided against doing any audio because um I felt like this is a stream theme, right? And I felt like it would be annoying to have a constant engine noise and like little screeches when it's drifting and stuff during the countdown. Um, and the same goes for a soundtrack. If I did a soundtrack, it would be like, first of all, I'm so far from being able to like make music that I like. Even if I was, though, that would be very set in stone versus I've what you're listening to is a sort of curated driving playlist that I made on Pretzel. That was what I was thinking of doing, is just using Pretzel for music and then not having a bunch of annoying sound effects. I did make this driving car, yeah. Yeah, that would be cool. I like that, Sita. Um, I did not catch the fog, but that guide that I was following did have fog as a factor, and I just didn't implement it. But I have a guide for how to. So I can absolutely add fog. It's I didn't add it because in their prototype I didn't think it looked very good, but I could maybe still do it. And oh no, don't get excited. Foggy days are not the effect that that had. This is JavaScript, and I'm using an engine called Phaser 3. Well, so the old way of doing fog is basically you're just applying it to the lines that you're drawing. So it's not volumetric fog. I don't even really know how I would do nice looking fog in this situation. It would be something that would be totally exploratory. Yeah, phaser is super powerful. I like it a lot. I've been just absolutely obsessing with it and building all sorts of silly shit. Oh, I already have that in my list, Sito. I want to replace the colored background of the sky with a graphic that can have the colors dynamically altered. Yeah. Anyway, I don't think that that raid idea is all that ridiculous. I think that's awesome. Basically, it wouldn't be that terrible to achieve. Like somewhere not far from the car, we would insert a railroad track perpendicular to the road, bring the car to a stop before that point, and then I would just have to make a giant train spray with an area where I could dynamically add text to it for when it goes by. I think that would be pretty sick. That is the one area where I might want to incorporate audio into this is I might have I don't know. So the weird thing about doing alert stuff is that I really have if I build my own and I'm still using stream elements, I have two different situations going on at the same time. Well, yeah, Sitho, that's how the guide does it, but it doesn't look super great. Looks kind of gross. Unfortunately. Um I can just show you what theirs looks like. Jake Gordon. Outrun. Oh, whoops. I wanted to go to the demo. So this is theirs. And that's what the fog looks like. Hmm. Probably right. But I mean, won't it look weird if you use the horizon? I mean, the so in their parallax, trees are what they have in the first like closest layer, right? If it didn't match that, wouldn't that look weird? Unfortunately, they're down underneath the horizon right now, so we can't make that comparison. There's so many cars. There's so many truck samas. Are we ever going to see those trees again? What happened? There they are. So like, well, actually, it does make them fade. It makes it look like you're driving into nothingness. It just blends the road entirely with the background trees. I get you. Yeah, that probably would make more sense. I can certainly try it. Whoa. I get so addicted to these things so easily. I love playing with stupid old stuff like this. So I am a nerd. Oh, I wonder if his fog is based from the edge of the draw distance. Oh yeah, it is. Notice though that like the sprites aren't affected and stuff. That would have to be changed. That might be hard because at least in phaser, I don't know, you'd have to like do a tint, but I'm not sure that would. I don't know if that would look great. It probably would not look good. I feel like I nailed it with this playlist though. Just having a good old outrun time. The car is so small. It's so tiny. Wait, what is this done? Weird. Oh my gosh. Huh. That was weird. I was stuck turning right. Probably some canvas bullshit. Uh I think it's basically distance is what's going on with the fog. So that's probably like, well, I don't know. Does that look better to you? I guess it's still there. Noise? I'd have to look at what the exact implementation is, but I'm pretty sure it's just coloring over the segments, which I don't know if that's going to really lend itself to a noise implementation very well. If you just imagine that it's basically just drawing colored lines. I'm sure it's pretty rudimentary. I don't like the way the resolution thing works in this because it just gets blurry. Phaser actually has a pixel art mode, which is really nice. So it could do like perfectly crisp, perfect pixels. Yeah, I need to fix my implementation of a few things if I was going to do like camera movement. One thing that was never implemented in this either was changing the actual distance of the car from the camera. So the car is always locked to the bottom of the screen there, which I feel like is not a great look. I like the car to be a little bit further out, have some space, but this didn't have an implementation for that. But it doesn't seem hard to add, as you saw, because mine has it. Sorta, yeah. We basically have like a 3D line that we can follow. And it will always follow the road. We can offset things left and right from that, but we cannot rotate anything. We can't rotate the camera, not without a lot more code. A whole hell of a lot more code. But that's the main limitation. But we do have a z-axis. Oh, wow. Not installed. Weird. This would be roughly in the looks target that I want to hit. I don't know what that is. Sorry if that was shockingly loud. I wasn't prepared either. Except for I don't like the look of this menu. Just visual chaos. I love these sprites. They're so good. I don't remember how to drift. Oh well. Oh my god. What a way to start. Okay, I remember how to drift now. Everything's fine. Okay, I failed. blew it again. Here's the transition I was talking about. Very curious what this does here. Interesting, okay. Oh, I love the water. And that's another thing I don't know how to do, is this textured look of the road. Because I'm just drawing like solid graphics. I don't even know what. I don't know if I can involve sprites in the road drawing, maybe? Doing research. Speed lines. Oh. Transition. Ooh, weather. Here we go. Yeah, I want a nice weather effect like this. This also has camera tilt in the turns. Shit. Monument Valley is very synthwave, if I recall. Never mind. Well, maybe. We'll see. I love the look of, like, sprite-based canyons like this. Some of my favorite stuff from these old pseudo 3D racers. Sorry I'm not reading chat right now. It's like impossible to play something like this and read chat at the same time. Ooh, two amazing choices. Oh, I love the... Look how many layers there are to that parallax. That's sick. When you get used to the drifting in this game, it feels just fucking amazing. You feel like a driving god. What's happening? Why did this happen? Yeah, everything looks ripped, but I mean that's the old Sega style. I love the way the old arcade racers looked. It's just such a fucking vibe. I want the weather particles to actually have depth. What's up? Hello, good morning. How's it going? Yeah, we've just been talking about it, talking about things we can do. With their help, I fixed the weird different frame rate thing on different machines. It's just a simple math problem, of course. My arch nemesis. Yeah, I don't know how they did the texture in this, but I think that the approach is similar to what I have. I mean, arguably, I could just draw more stuff. Because the way that I'm drawing the road here in my game is basically based off of this stuff. Based off that data structure I showed before. So, just 2 points. And then, how are so there's, the other stuff that's drawn is based off of just widths. So my render segments. This is after we've projected everything. Right, rumble width based off of width 1 and width 2. And the number of lanes. Bit complicated. So it's not texture based is my problem. So how I would involve a texture in the situation, I couldn't tell you. I think I lost in the background. I did. Do they have like a free drive in this? Settings. Oh, I love that. That's fantastic. These are beautiful. Seem like there's a free drive. It's unfortunate. It's kind of, yeah, it's vectors, I guess. I'm using Phaser's graphics drawing. Okay, so this is time trial, so it shouldn't time out. Stuff I gotta get. A graphics object is a way to draw primitive shapes to your game. Primitives include forms of geometry, such as rectangles. I think it actually generates what it calls a texture. I don't think it's actually drawing a vector. It's using whatever the canvas uses in HTML5. When a graphics object is rendered, it will render differently based on if the game is running under Canvas or WebGL. We're WebGL. Under Canvas, it will use HTML canvas context drawing operations. Under WebGL, the graphics data is decomposed into polygons. Both are expensive. So drawing more stuff this way to create road texture is probably not the way to go. I could use images and use the same coordinates, the same polygon coordinates. I think there's something I can use. I'm not sure about the math though to like position it correctly, even with the projection. Let's see. I think it's mesh. It's probably not the right answer. Ooh. This engine has cool shit. Oh, wow, look at that. Huh. What a cool effect. Ew, the panning feels weird. Yeah, this is a mesh. I'm not sure I could deform it the way I would need to, though. There's just so much stuff of this that like is I'm learning like huge amounts constantly, and it's still so difficult. There's still so much to learn. Loading a .object file. The TF to PNG. Apply a normal map. The words you've said have exceeded my knowledge. A lot of these kind of feel like they're the same thing. Why are these all busted? It didn't work, I guess. What happened? What these were? What are these about? Probably important information that I need in my life. I'm not here to figure out why samples are broken. I don't know if mesh is the answer. That doesn't look right. It looks like there's a gravity well where the light is. It's still cool. I'm always amazed at the stuff this thing can do. Right in the browser. Oh yeah. I feel like these normal maps don't quite... That guy looks good. He looks like almost 3D. This dude doesn't look right. I think some of these normal maps are not done well. The balls here seem like they came out well. Seems like the more detailed it is, the less good it looks. Robotector. Ooh. Oh, neat. Still doesn't look quite right. Like, is it the normal map not lined up right? This effect comes across so strange. Feels like it's deforming rather than looking 3D. Like it's on the surface of water or something. Sorry. That game is quite loud. My apologies. I didn't realize because I had it turned down on my end. Neat. Oh. That's interesting. It's like a piston. I actually haven't touched that setting, dude. It's just whatever the default is. Huh. Oh, would you look at that? No idea what you'd use that for. But it's cool. I clicked that button far too many times. Whoa. Oh God. Things are really happening. Ooh. That looks sick. I love that. No idea how to do that. Looks awesome. Oh God. Oh no. Oh Jesus. All right. That's all stuff I don't know. Yeah, I'm sure there's a number of you that could absolutely trounce me in terms of being able to quickly do probably most of the stuff I talked about. Oh yeah, sorry to say there's a bunch of unfortunate Rick and Morty based examples. Oh, that's a cool effect, huh? Like that. What's this? Oh. Splatoon 3. How about that? Oh. Whoa. Damn, you can really do some wild ass shit. I assume all this stuff only works with WebGL. Which is no problem because fortunately that works in OBS as well. Cool. Cool shit. Some color morphs. Scan lines. Neat. Yeah, forgot that was the only thing in there. Cool tester, it does nothing. I don't know what's supposed to happen there, but it's not happening. Yeah, it's probably not easy to understand how it all works without having access to the code, but I'm gonna give you access to the code. I'm just kind of looking at stuff at the moment to see if there's anything that gives me any ideas of things I could use for the driving game. Holy crap. Where's that example at? That looks insane. Whoa! Oh my god. Jeez. I've never looked at this. You can do some serious shit. It's really impressive. Can't do anything else. Can't pan or zoom or anything like that. That's a 2D sprite, hey? Wow. Oh, it's a plugin. Okay. Huh. Really? They look the same. Huge size difference, though. What's happening here? Hi, Trin. Oh. Huh. Okay. Weird. Oh. Just draws them all at the same time, hey? There aren't any, like, skew operations. Which seems like that would make the most sense to me towards, like, trying to deform an image to fit onto the road, right? Neat. Well, there's certainly a lot of wild stuff available. Oh. That renderer has crazy shit. Never mind. It just shows 32 textures. Neat, I guess. Oh, I see. Isn't this just adding a lot of them? Why is this called multi-texturing? It's just a bunch of images that you put on the screen. What am I missing here? Alright. Whatever that is, it's not happy. Well, yeah, I mean, the perspective transformation was what I was first thinking because obviously we already have the calculation done. We already have the polygon for that segment of road. I just don't know how I would apply I'm not sure that the ability to deform an image without using a mesh, or even if you are using a mesh, I'm not sure you can. I don't know that it has that ability. Maybe it requires something more heavy duty that's just not brought to the surface level by the engine. Yeah, to the docks. I feel like I looked for this before and failed. Sorry, that was like a long tangent. So, yeah. There's lots of things that could be improved here. I want to really just keep cracking away on it. But I will get a repo up and make it public, and I'll throw that in the Game Jams channel on the Discord. And everything that you need should be included. I use VS Code and the Go Live extension to quickly just fire up a browser with it in there, but you could just run index.html and it'll just run in your browser without having to have a web server or anything like that. It's very nice. So it's easy to play around with. Just clone the repo and open up index.html and open up the code and start messing around. Hell yeah. Yeah, I'm excited. I want to add all kinds of crap to this. It's a good playground for learning more stuff, and I feel like I've been learning at a kind of incredible rate. It would be awesome if I could get anywhere near here. Which, to be honest, better assets and unifying my pixel sizes, I feel like I could get there pretty quickly. Got a lot of the elements. Seems like I could exaggerate some stuff a bit more, but that's a matter of taste. Like cloud movement is very fast over here in Slipstream. But yeah, so surprisingly not that far apart. I think one of the tougher things might be getting my head around Blender. And it's surprising how, like, the car size is so almost the same. That's purely by accident. Oh, I love this. That's nice. I was wondering how this is achieved. It must just, like, I mean, obviously these are sprites here. I think it's all sprites. To make the ocean, I mean. Not just the waves coming in. Because one of the things, you know, with mine is, like, obviously there's grass going forever off into the distance. But how do you... If we turn left, we could see what I'm talking about. Nope, never mind. Maybe if I rewind forever, I can get back to before, when we had a better view of the ocean. Nope, can't go back any further than that. Like, if you want to have ocean covering a lot of the ground, you must just cover it with sprites, right? I can only assume. In fact, those waves are probably just really long-ass sprites, to be honest. I want to make some big sprites like this as well. Test those. Things going over the road. A banner over the road, you probably can just... Yeah, here we go, here we go. So, you got, like, your dirt, which is the base world drawing. Oh yeah, look at it. The whole thing is moving. So those are just massive sprites. Okay. That's how you do that effect. That's cool. And of course, the edge of the ocean is just like a hard line, but that's fine. It still looks good. God, the cars have a lot of sprites. So that's definitely, I'm going to definitely have to investigate, like, using a 3D model. Oh no, I drove slowly. Yeah, I mean, you can really just take it as far as you can imagine, right? A cool effect would be to have sort of like a protecting wall along the road, and then have the, when the waves come in, you have like a splash up. You load a sprite. Yeah, you can actually see the horizon. Do you see that little line? There's a little orange line. So yeah, those are just sprites. Just animated sprites sitting there. I don't know, Cito. I think they're just real long. I don't think there's layered sprites here. It looks like the whole thing moved. Yeah, look at this. Hey. We found it. We found the edge. Hello, Slipstream. I'm stealing your techniques right out from under you. I'm also now realizing that maybe unifying the pixel size is not that insanely necessary, because like, look at the size of the pixels on the, like, it's, everything looks good together in motion. Everything's close enough together that it's fine. I mean, obviously when you get up to close to sprites, they're gonna look hugier. Also, the road isn't really that pixelated either. I mean, the texture on the road is. But the actual drawing, like, there's a little bit of aliasing. There's actually sharp lines. So, I don't know. I guess I don't have to worry about that as much as I was thinking, do I? The fences are also interesting. Oh, look at the fences. Yeah. Ah, so when you're in motion, they look... Yeah, they're just like perspective drawn. I was wondering how they achieved this. Because when you're going fast, or if they're in the distance, it looks like a solid fence. Yeah, see? Look at that. That's nice. That's smart. Like that. That's good. Man, it's too bad I'm bad at pixel art, though, huh? Well, now's my chance to get good. Love the palm trees. They are absolutely... they look so much like the palm trees in Sonic. Palm trees in Sonic had this weird, like, polygonal appearance to them. And this is very similar. Not quite as harsh with the polygon look. Very similar, though. Excuse me. Oh, no. Come on. Ah, shit. Ah, I can't do it again. Oh, wait. It's building up. I'm trying. I'm trying to learn things, man. Oh, yeah, it's not going to work anyway. It's fine. I'm going to move on with my life. I don't know what that was by the road. I think it was a car. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. The rest of this is pretty straightforward. Like, these are just giant-ass sprites. The only thing that's probably consideration with these is, like, understanding the perspective piece of it to make it look like it's going over the road. I mean, it is going over the road. I also definitely want to have some stuff like this, where you make canyons out of just tons of sprites. I really think that, like, algorithmically, this is essentially the same... This is the same thing behind the scenes. as what I have. Like the, well, there might be something, because I'm noticing, like, the sprites are not dead in the center of the segments. There seems to be some variation. I mean, I could do that. I could offset their Z position randomly if I wanted to achieve the same thing. Yeah. I'm also noticing they use a lot of dithering, and that looks really good. Even the sky has a nice little dither effect between the, you see that there? Look on the right. I love the way that looks. It's very cool. I do wonder what they're using to do their horizon layer, because that to me looks a lot like, that's probably a similar effect to what they did in Street Fighter 2. I don't know if they did it in Street Fighter 1 as well, but like... Oh, no, you know what? I think it's just a lot of layers that are moving. I think that's all it is. Yeah, because a lot of those lines are moving together. But when they parallax up into a pile, it has this amazing effect. Oh, look at that fade in. Beautiful. So basically, I'm going to build a dynamic version of this for the stream countdown that will respond to alerts and stuff. I also really like their skid effect in this so much more than mine. Mine is terrible. Mine does not. Mine just looks like game smoke. Video game smoke. Yeah, good shit. Yeah, firing up Slipstream was the right idea. Oh, that's weird. I wonder why they have a... are you seeing this? Oh, that's because of the camera rotation, isn't it? Oh, I need to add that to my list as well. The yaw, pitch, roll stuff, calculations. I don't know how I'm going to do that. Someone's going to have to help me with that, because that goes into, like, the trigonometry of the projection. I don't know if they did skid marks in this, but I'll check. Yeah, it's just there's just a car parked here off the side. I guess when they get done doing their laps, they just die. I don't think there are in this, but I'll check. It would be a neat effect to have for sure. No, they don't do it. I mean, we're drifting right now. If there was gonna be a time, I'll hit the brakes real quick. Nothing. But I feel like you could certainly add it to the segments, and then it would persist in the road. If you do multiple laps. But short of that, there must be some other way of doing an effect like that. This is another thing I'm not sure about, is the way that added more lanes there. And also split roads I don't understand how to do. Basically, if it wasn't in the guide, I don't know how to do it. Like the course choice at the end of a course, where you make your choice by choosing which lane you're going to drive into. No idea how they do that. I only just barely understand this from the perspective of making one road. And that's it. That's all I got. It's the extent of my abilities. Want a lot of lanes? Yeah. I definitely had that thought of wanting it to have some variance in speed, and I also wanted it to have to actually fight centrifugal force. But my code was bad, so I have that off at the moment. I'm not sure what will happen here. Maybe nothing. Sorry, there's just like a really long straight. The road is just this data structure. This data structure here. So there you go. 2 projected points. So there's world, screen, and camera. Yeah, polygons. Sag has it right. Well, I don't think that it would make sense. It would be like a Mobius strip, because this isn't a real 3D world. Like, I could do circle, 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 and it technically it will look right, but if you were to do a map, it wouldn't make sense for what happens when you're driving. Yeah, absolutely it has. But it's seamless, and you know, because of the way it draws, you don't see that happening. Yeah, it goes off of the road because I was having trouble making it handle centrifugal force smoothly. And I tried, well, I don't remember exactly what I tried, but it just, you know, it didn't work. Oh, balls. I really need to organize this stuff. Like, if I turn down the centrifugal force, it should successfully avoid going off the road, obviously. Yeah, that's obviously not endgame how it should be done. It'd be nice to have an editor and have some sort of data structure for designing the roads rather than hard coding them, but this is still prototype mode. It still can't win. I've turned the centrifugal force down so low. There's no collision, by the way. Given the purpose here, it didn't feel necessary. Oh, was it? I do have a weird situation where this one, it refreshes, but it doesn't matter. I don't know if that's a Chrome thing. Probably is. Cache. But fortunately in OBS, the auto reload actually works and shows me latest. It's kind of funny for a comparison with this setup, though. Well, now nothing's basically happening. Am I stupid? Did this not work at all? Were we 2 settings behind? I think I didn't like this because I didn't like how it looked recentering. It looks too unnatural. It needs some sort of easing. But I do like it fighting more to stay on the road. I think that looks better than it just being stuck in the center. Implies a better sense of speed. I also don't know what the best speed is for this. I wonder what would happen if we did this. Big long segments. Ah, there's the bottom of the trees coming down from the top. Something about the increasing the segment length caused that to happen. Yeah, it's true. I'm just lazy. Yeah, I could make them, I could make like a JSON file or something like that. Some of this stuff is calculated, but yeah, I mean, I could do something like that. That's a lot of top speed. Weirdly, it doesn't look that bad. It's obviously too much, but it's so smooth. This thing can really push some graphics, huh? It's so much more than you would expect from a browser. I feel bad that I didn't really get anything done. I feel like this always happens when I show a project on stream and I'm like, we're gonna work on it together. And then instead of working on it, I do this thing where I like distract myself with all kinds of other crap. I think I almost like have performance anxiety or something about actually trying to do things on stream. Yeah, but I mean like the frame locking thing took 1 second. I just would like to have achieved something else. I probably could have redone the sprite drawing situation, for example, so we could have some nice fade in for the sprites in the distance, that sort of thing. I'm trying. I swear I'm trying. Here, let's add 200,000 to the top speed. I can't believe this is visually digestible. It's so weird. Isn't this insane? Why does this look okay? This shouldn't look okay. But I guess since the frame rate is locked, it's not really doing much more, right? That's probably why. I was just thinking that maybe the destroying of the images every single frame is not that big of a deal if it can do this, but they do kind of look like they're going backwards. You just gotta believe. Oh my god. Hey Lindley, thank you for the biddies. Jesus. Have I already tried slow roads? What do you mean? We can actually achieve a sort of slow motion effect by just turning the FPS down to next to nothing. Like, it looks like the car is going slow, but technically this is slow motion because it's still going to achieve its top speed. The top speed is its segment length divided by step. So we've reduced the number of steps. I guess Well, I don't know. Gurren Lagann. Yeah, the step is tied to FPS, so. Why are you like this, Chrome? Oh, but yeah, the other thing is working on this on stream will give me more time to work on it because I've been doing all of this like crammed in between work and stream, which is like not any time, and also I totally gave over my entire weekend to it. I actually really just gave over my entire weekend to making the car work. That's how I spent my weekend. And now I already want to redo the car. I want to do the Blender models thing. I think that's going to make it much more achievable. No, but I mean, I'm going to, Food, as I've been saying. I'm going to put it on GitHub, and then I'll be, you know, making regular check-ins. But then you guys will be able to clone it and do whatever you want with it. I guess, yeah. Thank you. I'm very neurotic, I guess. Normally when I'm working on something and I'm not on stream and don't have any distractions, I'm just like, you know, hammering stuff out. I'm very focused on something that I'm passionate about. But then I find that that doesn't always work when I'm live on stream. So then I become very self-critical because I'm like, I'm not getting as much done as I normally do. I'm far less self-critical when I'm not live, if that tells you anything. One thing that I'm scared of is that I'm going to put the fucking repo up, and one of you psychos is just going to, like, absolutely destroy this thing. Meaning, like, someone who knows what they're doing is gonna, like, oh, here's all those things. Here's everything you said. You know what I mean? Right, yeah. Like, I do want to be able to do it. So the objective isn't for somebody to step in and do it for me. I want to learn how to achieve this stuff. I want to learn how to make this, you know? Fortunately, I feel like I know a lot of how to make this now, but like I haven't done that yet. I haven't made something that looks like polished and cool and nice. I also have a really bad tendency to get super stuck on well, fortunately that I believe that's a GitHub default, but I think I can set protection settings or whatever as well, but yeah. I'm happy for people to do stuff, but I don't know how many pull requests I'll be doing. It'd be more like a collaborative learning experience, I guess. But, like this thing with the road texture, like it went directly into my fucking brainstem, and I'm just like, how do I do that? I have no idea how to do it. Like if I don't even have a beginning idea how to do a thing, I will just fall into a research hole. And if I don't find an answer, I'll just stay stuck there. You know what I'm saying? Those really get me. Those fuck me up pretty good. But I do really just, I love the way that looks, so I want to figure that out somehow. I wonder if I have any other similar racers. There's Horizon Zero Dawn. Horizon Turbo, but that's a low poly, like pseudo 3D mimicker. Like it pretends to sort of be Horizon Chase Turbo. That's what it is. it mimics the gameplay mostly, but the entire world is 3D, which is cool in its own way. It's just not the same. But I don't know if I have any others. So I was on the right track at the beginning, basically, with the mesh. I just don't know if I can deform it the right way. I have to dig into the meshes and see, because I feel like I tried to do this before with phaser meshes. I wanted to use them in my my blobber, my dungeon crawler thing, and it did not do what I needed it to do. So it's either something I didn't understand about them, probably, or well, so to make something if you're going to use a mesh in a projected way, you need to be able to skew its points, essentially. You need to be able to place the corners where you need them to be to make it look like a polygon, you know? And I feel like I wasn't able to do that. But I could be wrong. Yeah, this game is cool too. It's just, it's not the same. It mimics for sure. To be honest, they might also be drawing the road the same sort of way. But they use 3D models for everything, which makes me feel like it's probably mimicry where they just have like a locked camera and stuff like that. And otherwise it's basically not a pseudo, like I'm noticing perspective wise and things like that, it doesn't seem to have the same behaviors with drawing the road, right? But maybe they do have that segment look thing going on. It might be, you know, they might at the core of it, and then they just have 3D models for their cars and their props. You know what? I think it is, because if you look at the way the props come in, they have this weird scaling. They like grow. If you stare at them in the distance, they grow into the scene. They don't fade in. Like these trees are growing fast. So yeah, I think they are. I think they have an actual projection based thing going on at the bottom of this whole thing. It's just really nice stuff laid on top of it. Do they have any texture? No, interestingly. But of course, that's the whole look of this is like textureless. Okay, something's going wrong with their... We got grass particles on the road. That was strange. Why did that happen? Must be a bug in that one spot. What a way to end. Oh yeah, I mean, they would still have 2D sprites in here. I mean, 3D games use sprites all the time. I was just curious about like the underpinnings of the way they're drawing this. I just noticed their flags don't move. That's weird. Why not? Seems like that would be a pretty easy thing to do rather than have them like frozen in time. Their shadows are weird too. Why are the shadows for the signs like that? The bush And tree shadows look good. The lamppost shadow looks good. It's also... Well, I thought it was moving, but I guess it isn't. But it's certainly 3D. Anyway, I find this sort of stuff fascinating. Obviously, I've been obsessing over it. It just didn't look like it matched the sign. Like, if you look at it, look at the base. I think the shadows are for different signs. They replaced their signs. Look at it. It's a different, it's not just the arrow. They used to have arrow-shaped signs. That's what it is. I was focusing on the base, and I'm like, why are there two little pegs? But now that makes sense. You know what? I think I remember their old signs. That's funny. They forgot to update the shadow there. Oh, weird. That's interesting how they handled the collision. Oh. Oh no, I'm gonna run out of gas. So I guess the shadows aren't dynamic then. Thought they were at first. They are differently placed. Yeah, they do follow the angle of the sun. Interesting. That's probably why they did that then. So the shadows are separate and associated with the prop, but then angled based off of where the position of the sun is. That's nice. Oh, I guess that probably applies to the car shadows as well. I wasn't looking at those. And I mean, these are 100% 3D models, so that's probably easy. Yeah, they move. It's cool. I like that. Sick. See yuck. Yeah, I guess it would be a constant in the world, so it could be baked in for the world. Me. Why did you shout at me, BFA? Oh. I forgot, yeah. Coestar. Right. I'm a video game racing boy. But yeah, this is not the look that I'm going for. So this is only so informative. But yeah, that's going to do it for today. Might return to this tomorrow and actually try to get more done. And I'll put the repo up by then as well so that y'all can join in and examine stuff. Aero GPX? I don't. Qua. Oh, this looks like, yeah. I'm not a big fan of Toon Shader. Buddy, don't... Yeah, I'm ending, and you're going to get to eat in a second. So it's F-Zero-ish. That's cool. Retro stuff probably wouldn't really show up anywhere without having to like dig. Nobody wants that. Sir, what are you doing? And searching for anything on Steam sucks. If I did. I think it only searches titles. You can't like search tags. Oh, what's this? Huh? Okay. Doesn't really look like it. I'll keep an eye on it, I guess. I have one that's like supposed to be oh. Oh, sick. This is like Virtual Racer. Oh, apparently it's not popular. Palm Ride. Oh, that sounds like it would be an outrun. Ooh. They went all in on the shaders. This looks like a Game Boy pseudo 3D racer. Holy shit, look at these effects. Jesus. This needs to have lots of epilepsy warnings. Really cool little style, though. Yeah. Yeah, the bitrate is probably in hell. I love the effect, though. CRT effect stuff is cool. Good for inspiration. Uh-huh. It's wild, the stuff people will put on Steam. Why would you make a racing game and then have it be this slow? If it can go faster, like, why is this your advertisement? And I mean, it doesn't really look great either. Why is everything, like, this shiny? Some of the effects are nice, and the color schemes are okay. I get where they were going for, but, like, it's just sort of an assault on the eyes. What's this? This is made by the same person. It's another slow, like, outrun driving game. Oh, there we go. Oh, no, doesn't last very long. It's not even out. And they always have these, like, Retro Drive is a neon-soaked arcade racer with a killer synthwave soundtrack. It basically doesn't say anything. Who? What does this even mean? There's just a lot of stuff like this, huh? Retro wave? Like the genre, or what are you asking me? Oh no, yeah, I know Buck Up and Drive. I have it. I followed that game. I was telling y'all about that game. It used to be called Shut Up and Drive, but then I think there's like a movie or something or other, and they had to change the name. And yeah, it's cool. But and it also, this is doing, like, I followed the dev on this stuff. And they were talking about how it uses a similar projection drawing style to do the road and stuff. But yeah, it's very cool and wild. But I found the gameplay kind of blah for me. Oh, it was because of the Flash game. Gotcha. But the style is, you know, obviously off the charts. Love the style with this. So good. Apparently I don't have it on Steam, but I have it on itch for sure. Oh boy. Generic kart racing. Release date at some point. Oh wow. This doesn't look bad. Looks like Mario Kart Super NES. Yeah, I like the style. It's interesting. I'm gonna follow that one. I say follow while I click wish list. 'Cause I'm dumb. What? VR supported? What is this? Holy shit. Is this driving in Oberdin? Why? Why is it called fake racing? That's the whole trailer? With monochrome pixel graphics. Like, there was never a system that looked like this. So this isn't retro of anything. It certainly has an unusual visual style. It does look like e-ink. Oh, there was some other game I was following, and I loved the soundtrack, and I don't fucking remember what it was. Oh no, what was it? Oh, how could I forget? I think it had drift in the name. Fuck. It was definitely brought up in the Discord at some point. It had an amazing soundtrack. No. It was it's this. Yes. Yeah, I love the style of this. This isn't the song that really got me though. Oh, oh cool! I didn't know it had physics stuff. That's neat. This is the one. I love this tune. I gotta pick this up. It's right up my alley. So cool. Yeah, they look like matchsticks kind of as well. Maybe eventually I'll get to 3D. Oh yeah, I forgot this is out. Oh yeah, I remember why I didn't pick it up now. It's a lot. What's Zen Edition? What? Absolute Drift? Oh, interesting. I never saw this before. It's a bit old. Oh, neat. It's like the mirror's edge of drift racing. I mean, that probably wouldn't be a wise idea for a game that has like a lot of Group B cars and stuff, since notoriously it was ended due to people standing in the road and then getting vaporized by rally cars. Super hot but racing. I feel like those ideas are antithetical. There's another one I have. I think it actually has the name you just made me remember. Yeah, Hot Shot Racing. This is that sort of 90s-ish. It doesn't really achieve this style, in my opinion. It's cool and all, but it's kind of like too garish or something. I don't really quite know. The announcer's right on point, though. I can't put my finger on it, but just something's not right.
Fine-tuned for speed.
I did. I played this before, yeah. I think we played it with the Trials boys. Just one night, you know. I don't know. I don't know what it is about this, but it just doesn't hit the spot. Visually. Like, gameplay, it drives fine and everything, and that's cool, but... Okay, I don't know why I couldn't turn there. At all. Just didn't break it up. No, I'm going straight again. What the heck? I guess when you get hit, you, like, lose the ability to steer temporarily. Like, I would love, like, an old-style Rush style game. Huh. I guess I got pit maneuvered. I think that's what's happening. No, it doesn't... the feeling crappy is not because it's trying to be retro. It's something else. It's just something weird about their implementation. Oh, I think it... oh, okay. They might have a weird drift implementation that you have to take advantage of, or it ruins you. I do appreciate that, like... yeah, it's actually not bad. Like, slipstreams and the drift system in this, I really like. Because it's a tap the brake and then slam the accelerator and turn. Like, that's all it needs to be. That's a good feel for drifting in a, you know, arcadey style driving game. Yeah. It's like too garish, and that combined with the high fidelity, it just doesn't achieve the retro look very well. I think like a cool look would be like essentially Daytona, the original Daytona with some upgrades. Basically the same for San Francisco Rush. But Daytona 2 is also a cool look. People are way less familiar with that, and I don't think it really was made available anywhere outside of arcades, unfortunately. But it had a cool look to it that I really enjoyed. That's still, it's like on the cusp. It's like the end of the retro 3D era is what Daytona 2 is. It's sort of like a transitional game. You really have to suss out the good ones. They're not all what they're cracked up to be. I would say Slipstream hits the target pretty much right on point. Slipstream is very, very good. Anyway, I said bye and then I just stayed, huh? Poor pupper. Poor pupper. I lied. I lied to you. I'm sorry. Don't lick me in my mouth. I love you, but I don't want mouth licks. Mwah. Okay. Well, I am really going to get out of here now. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see y'all tomorrow.